Hey guys, I hope you're all doing fine. Today we are reviewing a Citroen C4 Picasso, first generation. This car was launched in February 2007. This is the 5-seater version, as you can see. This car replaces the Zara Picasso, and it belongs to the MPV category, which is the multi-purpose vehicle. C4 Picasso has a bigger brother with 7 seats called the Grand C4 Picasso. This car, the Grand C4 was launched in September 2006, but this one, the 5-seater, is launched February 2007. This is also called Space Tourer in some countries. So this is the first generation, and the second generation was launched in 2013. This car was built in Spain, in PSA factory in Vigo, and designed by Donato Cocco. Donato Cocco is an Italian designer responsible for designing many beautiful cars, like the very famous 458 Italia with Pininfarina, of course, and many other Citroens, like the first generation C1, the Citroen C2, the first generation Citroen C3, and no surprise, the Zara Picasso, which is the predecessor of this car. This compact PV is based on the PSA PF2 platform, which it shares with the Citroen C4, the C3 Picasso, also at the time. And back in 2006, this car was rated 5 stars according to the European New Car Assessment Program, short for long form for NCAP, Euro NCAP. They give it 5 stars in 2006, before launch, of course, and it was retested in 2009, and it was given also 5 stars. So, starting with the front, this is the general front design. Give you a few seconds to take it in. So, headlights. This is the design of the headlights. I would say it's a stretched triangle, housing the daytime running lights, the main light, and the indicators, side view and front view. Moving to the center, we have a big Citroen badge with chrome stripes. The hood, there are no lines here, but only, say, very small line, but I don't think you can see it there. Here, very subtle, you know, it's not a line, but it's very subtle, as you can see from the reflection of the tree, but no lines. It's not very apparent. Moving down to the bumper, we have these inserts here, plastics. These are for aesthetics only. Fog light with the chrome stripe, aerodynamic elements here. Front, you have the grille, but it's separated in two by the number plate. Tow hook is here. Fog light, another angle. So moving to the sides, we have aftermarket alloy wheels here with winter tires. And from the side, I would say this car is more interesting. Why? First, we have a greenhouse effect, which means big glass area. We have an A-pillar divided into 2 parts, 2 slim parts, and we're gonna emphasize that when we see the interior. And we have here a zenith windscreen. I will show you in the interior. We have a fairly interesting seal line here with a bump in this middle, and this is one of the characteristics of this car. This makes this car very recognizable. That let's say seal bump, I would like to call it, in the design. Fairly large B-pillar, and this car has let's say windows from start to finish, from the front, as you can see. Yeah, so the lights extend to the sides, C-shaped. There are no character lines in this car, in this design. I didn't find any. Only, let's say, soft curvatures. We have protection here, side protection. And we have a subtle line here. This is this line here, door line. I'll try to show that for you. But there are no lines in this car whatsoever. We have big window mirrors, housing also the indicator. Good family car. To be honest, the exterior of this car is not really interesting as the interior. I will show you later in the video. So moving to the rear, I really like the design of this car from the rear. We have big rear lights, badge in the center. It says here C4, but this is a C4 Picasso or Grand Space Tour countries. So we have big rear lights. This is the design, and these are no LEDs, just simple lights, simple bulbs, as you can see. I'm gonna zoom in, but they played with the reflective surfaces to give it a C shape. We have big chromey badge. There are also no character lines in this car, apart only from this one which extends from the bumper. And yeah, okay, we have parking sensors, no diffuser, no exhaust apparent, tow hook here, the reflective light here. So at the top we have an aerodynamic element here, as you can see. So the wind comes from here. I'm not trying to be a scientist or anything, but this is helps with the design, especially of this corner of the car, and gives it an edge in the aerodynamic department. It's quite good looking corner, as you can see the shape. We have here a big spoiler on the side. It has a curvature here. It's housing the brake lights and the spray nozzle for the rear window. Yeah. So yeah, exterior wise, there is no much to talk about this car. From this side we have a circular fuel filler cap, and we're gonna go to the interior. So starting with the door of the car, we have here a premium looking plastic, but to the touch it's very hard and brutal. And this is, by the way, a highly spec'd car. It's not some entry-level model. And yeah, they feel cheap. And Citroens actually in that time, in that the noughties, they didn't use good plastics in their cars. The C3, being the first generation C3, was highly criticized for its interior quality. But this is better, of course. But nevertheless, it's not a deal breaker. So we have here gray plasticky insert, chrome door handle, which feels honestly fairly sturdy. We have a plastic door handle, cracks a bit, but not really a deal breaker. Non-padded, or little to no padding in this armrest. We have controls for the external mirrors, for windows, control for the windows on the driver's sides, opening and closing function, and child's lock. We have a storage compartment here for this bottle. It's quite big actually. And these MPV vehicles, practicality is a must, so I wouldn't say it's a plus point, but it helps. This is the speaker housing. These are the seats. So the fabric of the seats, and the seats very cushiony, comfortable. Citroens does not play with comfort. It's the main aspect of their cars, and I sat in this seat for probably an hour and I feel very much comfortable after that. So these are height adjustable, and every adjustment you can imagine they have, but they're not electric or heated or anything. Armrest for each seat, as you can see. So I'm gonna get in the interior and talk about the rest of this car. So the Citroen C4 Picasso first generation interior. and I must say I quite like this interior, especially compared to the exterior, which is there is no much to talk about in the exterior actually, but the interior, it's the most interesting part of this car. As I shall now explain, this is general view of the interior. So starting as usual from the left side of the dashboard and the interior, and the first thing you notice is there are no blind spots, and this is actually really good. Well done by Citroen and by the designers and engineers. The A-pillar is divided into two parts, and yeah, this is actually helps too much with driving, and also it creates an airy and a bright interior. So air vents there, and here side airbag, and moving down we have here coin holder. I will show you here. This is actually for little coins, very practical. Moving down, air vents, and these air vents mimic the shape of the front headlights, opening, closing function. They are kind of flimsy, yeah? Not good quality. The same chromish like inserts here and here. And a quirky thing about this car is the climate controls. The climate is divided into two parts. There, the passenger part, and here, the driver's part. But as you can see, the driver has more controls, obviously. So this is the auto function, the climate control. This is the defrost for the windshield. This is for the rear window. This is to activate the climate for the rear passenger, deactivated. And this, the air direction. I'll zoom. So this is the air direction, this fan speed, rest function. We saw this in the 3008 video. Make sure to check that out. This is the temperature. It's nicely integrated, and I think it's really smart. It's really smart. It's free up space here in the center console. I really like it, but I don't think it's necessary for other cars to adopt. But Citroen, you know, they are known for their quirky things, and this is a nod back to the Citroens of old, and I really like that. Another thing, we have tweeters there behind the air vent for the windshield. Moving further down, we have these buttons here. This is, by the way, aftermarket. For the alarm, the owner installed this. I don't know what's that for, but Citroen factory, this is the fuel filler cap, the sound alarm, let's say, for the parking sensors, and this is the adjustment for the height of the front headlights. Plastics here, fairly cheap, even more cheaper than these. Dashboard quality plastics. Here actually it's soft. Here it's soft. Here it's softer than the doors. Actually, the door, they have the same, let's say, layout and design, but when you touch them, they are not the same. This is actually soft touch, squishy, and this is very hard. These are very flimsy, as you can see here. So only this part is high quality. The others are not. So at the top of the dashboard, we have a big storage compartment, as you can see. And in the passenger side also, we have the same storage compartment. Quite useful, actually. Moving to the steering wheel. So, the steering wheel, only this part turn. Like the C4 first generation. As you can see, it's really nice. I know it's not practical because the buttons stay in the same place. I really like it. I like quirky things, especially from Citroen and other brands. It's wrapped in leather, fairly sturdy and good quality stitching here, and good quality also chrome inserts, and I really like this part. In the center we have an airbag, and the steering wheel shape is not, let's say, it's not a complete circle, as you can see. We have the horn here. We have on the left side controls for the cruise control. This button here controls how much information you want on this display. I will show you. As you can see, informations are disappearing, but if you continue to click, they will all display back. Here on the right side, controls for the menu, chrome insert on both sides. And in this right side, of course, we have controls for the radio, volume, mute button here, search button, everything. We have also the lights for the indicator and headlights, fog lights also, like this, as you can see. And we have the BMP6, which is a 6-speed robotized, let's say, automatic transmission. We have here the automatic mode, and this is the manual mode. And the manual mode, you can use these shifters here on both sides. By the way, they are high quality materials, these shifters. You can shift manually or you can keep it on the automatic mode. We have a fairly PSA group stocks, which feel normal, not flimsy, but not also high quality. We have controls for the automatic headlights, the beam, and the indicators. Here we have the same stock, but for the windshield wipers. Fairly simple stocks, but the steering wheel is very interesting. So moving to the center, we have this center instrument panel, as you can see, and straight away we have a weird placement for the electronic parking brake. But when you combine this, the automatic gearbox and the parking brake, it actually makes sense, because when you stop the car, you put this on neutral or parking, and you engage the parking brake, which is a really nice touch actually. I didn't agree at first, but now it makes sense. So here we have some buttons to adjust the lighting, reset 00, and there, this is to change the colors. Here, let me do this for you. So when I press, we can change the colors of the instrumentations, which is a really nice touch. And here is to free up the menu. When you press, it's the same button on the steering wheel we viewed earlier. So here you can simplify your instrument panel. Here you can bring up all the informations you need, like the time, the date, how much kilometers until refill, and the total mileage. Right there we have the number of the passenger, how many passenger, and are the seat belts fastened or not. And this is to display various informations also. It's actually quite nice. Moving down, we have the emergency indicator, and this is the air freshener. You turn it to adjust the intensity, which is a really nice touch. Here, these are not buttons, these are chrome inserts, which are made to look like buttons just for a design point of view. This is quite bizarre actually, button for the ESP. It's really big, and it's not, I don't know, this function in many cars is normally right here. But Citroën choose to put it here, so that's okay. These are the central lock, and if you lift this up to keep the design clean, they decided to hide the actual radio CD for this car. And this radio also, we viewed this in the Peugeot 3008. As you can see, volume, the menu here, and everything, and you control it through the instrument panel there. Close it like this. Moving down, we have a fairly big refrigerated storage compartment. You can open it like this, and we have two cup holders and a compartment there As you can see, the clutter, for example, let me test like this. This is a tall glass. As you can see, it's fairly large actually. This is a nice touch, and it's refrigerated also. So yeah, that is the glove box. Glove box has two compartments here, and it's fairly small. And I don't know if you can see it, but it is a small glove box. This is the passenger airbag, the activation and the activation switch. Moving down, we have a flat area there. Maybe you can put like a small coffee machine there, or maybe something. Here we have a cup holder also, and the cigarette lighter here. And here 12-volt socket. More storage compartment, another storage compartment, another cup holder. So we have 4 cup holders here in this car. These are the controls for the seats, and this is the central area. It's fairly flat, fairly spacious. I actually would have liked some continuity here, because it's very far from the rear passengers, and also this space is not actually useful because the central rear passenger is not going to use this area. But yeah, this is the height adjustment for the seats, by the way, both driver and passenger. So moving up, we have adjustable seat belts, and this is the central light function, passenger, driver, and we arrive to the feature I like also about this car is, okay, many things are happening in this roof. So we have this mirror here. I don't know why it's stiff, yeah, but no lighting. This is a card holder, and this is actually quite big, you know. When you fold it to the side, you can cover the whole area here. I will show you. Like this, it's fairly big, huh? And one thing I really like, you put your hands here and you slide. And this is actually a big windshield. Normally windshield in the cars, they stop. It normally stops about here, but you can extend it to make the interior even brighter due to the zenith windscreen. You can see the sliding mechanism here. This is a child's mirror. You can supervise your children via this mirror, and this is the automatic rear view mirror. So moving to the back, I'm going to show you the rear door of the car. We have plastic, as always, good looking but hard to the touch. We have chrome-like inserts here, and also it's plasticky. The door handle, as I said in the front, is really good quality. We have a switch for the from the PSA group. You find this in many cars for those who are looking for spare parts. And we have a door handle, which is plasticky. We have cloth with no padding. We have a storage compartment here, which is good for a bottle of water, half liter. This is the housing for the speaker. There is not much to talk about. This is a highly equipped version. Maybe this is the exclusive, as the owner said. This is window blind. And there is a touch I like about this car in general. The amount of sound deadening, as you can see, it's even doubled here, which is a really nice touch. I didn't see this in the Peugeot 3008, which adds to the comfort of this car. The door opening, it's really large, as you can see, very accessible. There is no wheel arch that obstruct the passenger from getting in, like the Peugeot 3008, which I reviewed. So we get in. As you can see, 3 individual seats, really spacious. I'm gonna close the door. It's so cold today, -3 or 4. So this is the general view when you sit in the back. So starting with the seat, As I said in the beginning of the video, this is a fairly big and let's say long wheelbase, 273 centimeters. And the seats, they're not really soft, but they are firm enough without feeling uncomfortable. Also, there is no support in these seats. They are fairly flat, comfortable, but there is no road holding. As you can see, I'm gonna get this up. It's quite getting in the way. Good. So I can sit properly. So sitting in the back, we have a foldable small table with a cup holder here, but it's very shallow. The mechanism is fairly simple. We have storage compartment here with the net. I don't like these, by the way. As you can see, they get loose by the time. And here, a fairly interesting piece of equipment is the controls for the climate control here. You can open, you can turn them, you can direct them, and you can close them also. Close them like this. And this is for the fan speed. I will try to zoom in. This is for the fan speed and the automatic function. I really like this. This is the window blind. I will show you. Like this. Pull it. There is no adjustment on the seat belts in the rear. But of course, each passenger have its own seat belts and its fold-in mechanism of the seats. These are stadium seats. They are raised, and the floor is completely flat, which is a nice touch. So as you can see, the space for my knees. I'm sitting comfortably, actually. I'm a pretty tall guy, so as you can see, this is the amount of space I have for my legs. I'm not complaining. This is good, actually. Headroom is not terrible. It's a good car here to sit in. So this is the handles of the roof. They are assisted, which is a nice touch. Wow. This car is a hit and miss in quality terms. This is a coat hook. I don't like this mechanism, by the way. They could have just put a normal one, and that's it. A dashboard look. It screams practicality and some quirky touches, which I really like. And nicely spec'd, actually, for the time. I would have loved some road holding for the seats, but this car is meant to, you know, give a comfortable journey to the family in the back with no sporty driving whatsoever, so I kind of forgive it for that. And it's fairly safe. As I said, it's 5 stars, tested in 2006 and 2009, so yeah. So to open the boot of this car, it's really annoying because you have to go down here to press the button there. It's electronic. So, but I cannot complain about the opening. It's fairly large, quite big. Boot 500 liters, and this is cluttered with the stuff, as you can see, but it gives an idea about the storage capacity. One thing also annoying is this bumper. It's fairly large, it's intruding, and you can damage it fairly easily. But the opening, as I said, is very big. It's all covered, by the way, and we have handles here to close it. And boot features, we have hook here and there. No, this is not a hook, this is a tether point. This is actually a strap to hang things. And we have double lights here and there, but this you can take out. This is actually a shared part with the 3008, also I reviewed. Shopping hook, tether point. And you're gonna say, this is by the way, before moving to the quirky feature I'm going to show you, this is the tether point for the child seat. And as I said, Where is the 12-volt socket? I don't see it here. Well, Citroen decided to put it right here. This is the 12-volt socket, as you can see. And as you can see also, we can split this parcel shelf to 3 parts. It's quite flimsy actually, in a very bad mechanism. I don't like this, honestly. It's a 3-part, as you can see. And this is the general idea about the boat. As I said, it's 500 liters. Find 576 for the Grand C4 Picasso 7-seater. And now we're gonna move to the engine and some technical information about this car. So we moved to the engine bay, and the first thing I notice is the opening. It's not quite big actually, it's quite small, as you can see. I will show you from the side here. So it's not easy to work on this car without bumping your head or hitting your head. So, engine. This is a front wheel only drive car with a transversal engine with the gearbox mounted on the left side behind this air filter. I don't know if you can see it. And the engine range is the following. So we start with the petrol engines. Petrol engines, we have the 1.6 VTI. It has 120 horsepower, and it is a variable valve timing engine with direct injection. Code name is EP6. It's developed with the PSA group and the BMW group. And this 1.6 VTI engine, it's better to avoid because of oil consumption, oil leaking, and many other problems. So it's better to avoid it. And this VTI engine has also a bigger brother, which is the 1.6 THP engine. THP stands for turbocharged hyper pressure. It develops 156 horsepower. This is also a famous engine for its problems. The code name is EP6DT. It's also developed with PSA Group and BMW, and it's mounted on various BMW cars, mini cars, Peugeot, Citroens, and it's better to avoid also this engine along with the 1.6 VTI. And both of these engines actually replace 2 engines which were mounted before them. So the 2 engines, this car, I remind you, was launched in September 2006, and from September 2006 to the October 2008, it used these 2 following engines: the 1.8 16 valves with 127 horsepower, naturally aspirated, and the 2-liter 16 valve 143 horsepower, also naturally aspirated, but they are more reliable, okay, but they are rare because they're been, especially on this car, they've been produced and mounted on this car only 2 years before they got replaced with the 1.6 VTI and 1.6 THP after that. So for diesel, we have also 2 engines. We have the 1.6 HDI diesel, 110 horsepower. It is an okay engine. It's better than the petrol engine, more reliable. It's an okay engine. Why I said it's okay? But because the weight of the car is 1,600 kilograms, and the 1.6 HDI, sometimes it delivers an okay performance, but sometimes it struggles to carry the weight of the car, especially with passengers and luggage. And we have finally another diesel engine, which is the 2-liter HDI, developing 140 horsepower combined with a 6-speed manual or the semi-automatic BMP6 gearbox. So these are the engines for the car, and this car actually has the 2-liter HDI 140 brake horsepower combined with the BMP6 gearbox. This engine is quite hard to work on actually. You don't have so much space. And this is the engine bay. This air filter, brake fluid, washer fluid, cooling expansion, tank, filters there, filler cap. Yeah, it's a fairly powerful engine, and it's the best choice for this car is to go for diesel engines, and especially the 2-liter HDI engine with 140 brake horsepower. Yeah, so this is it, guys. This is a full review of the first generation Citroen C4 Picasso. So thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, The Car Review Lab. Make sure also to hit that like button and maybe share it with your friends. Also, take a look at my Patreon. I have there spreadsheets. I have useful videos on what cars to choose and what cars to avoid, engines, gearboxes, and etc. Other than that, thank you so much.